In previous videos we have seen some of the quality controls that make SsdwLab 6 a unique program in the aneuploidy and preeclampsia screening. In this tutorial we will show several options that can help us to get a better performance of SsdwLab 6 potential. The first of these options that we're going to see is the statistics submenu, which will show us how the screenings are distributed. From the SsdwLab 6 main screen, we select the Tools menu and then the sub-menu, Statistics. We can observe that several options are presented. We choose the first one, Global Statistics. We see that the screen is clearly divided into two panels, one on the left and one on the right. On the left panel we see a series of controls that allow us to filter. Among these controls we can observe date range, minimum and maximum date of screening, center. If we select only validated screening or all the screening, closed cases, the result mode, screening, after screening or both, and if we want grouping the results by center, month, quarter or year. On the right panel the statistical results are shown. We can observe the average age of the screened women, the percentage of women over 35 years, percentage of women over 40 years, the average weight of women, etc. We can note a section regarding the estimated risks where we find the percentage of cases with positive risk, the percentage of case with positive risk for T21, etc. Now, let's go to study another option, maternal age distribution. As in the previous option, the screen is divided in two panels. The controls of the left panel help us to delimit the query, and the right panel presents the maternal age distribution. At the top left of the right panel we see the results in numeric format, mean, SD, minimum age, maximum, and in the top right there is a summary of the applied filters, and in the bottom part of the right panel we see the representation of the results in histogram format. If we click on the Table tab, the results are presented in a chart. The others sub-menus, distribution of maternal weight, distribution of gestation age, distribution of correction factors, are displayed the same way we have seen for the distribution of maternal age. The next characteristic that we're going to analyze can be very useful for the SsdwLab 6 users. The submenu Database Query, Exportation tool. From the main screen we select the Administration menu and we choose the submenu, Database Query, Exportation tool. We can note that the screen is divided into two panels, one on the left and one on the right. On the top part of the left panel we can observe the available queries. In case there are queries already done, at the bottom, we find the selected fields of the chosen query. In the right panel we see three tabs. The Results tab displays the results once you run the query. Field Selection tab allows us to define which fields we will involve in the query. And finally the Generic Data tab that presents identifying details of the query. Now, we will perform a new query. First of all we press the green button with a white cross, Add a new item, which redirects us to the Generic Data tab. We give a name to the query, in this case query_1. We can give a priority and if we want it to be visible and or editable by other users. Also, there is a text box where we can write comments about the query. Then we press the Save button, and quickly the query appears in Available Queries. The next step is defining which fields we want included in the query_1. So, we go to the Field Selection tab. The different eligible fields can be grouped into 9 main sections. 6 in the screening, and 3 in the post-screening. The 6 screening sections are patient, pregnancy, screening, blood test, ultrasound, and calculations. And the 3 post-screening sections are invasive technique, morphological ultrasound, and perinatal result. For example, the fields included in the screening section are its screening, profile type, center, screening date, suspended screening, screening suspension causes, GAR manual input, and comments. It is noteworthy that in the 9 sections, 6 screening and 3 post-screening, mentioned above, we have a subsection called Traceability that allows us selecting fields related to creating or updating the screening and post-screening. Thus, for example, in the subsection Traceability of the Screening section we find these fields, Screening Updated by and Screening Update Date. Pressing the green button on the left of the name, we select the fields that we want. In this case, we choose the fields ID, patient, birth date, profile, risk T21 and risk T18, 13. We can observe that as we select these fields are appearing in the left panel. The selected fields on the right panel have 2 buttons on their left. The button on the far left with grid drawn serves when we click on it, so that the field does not appear in the query. The other button allows to satisfy certain conditions. In this particular field, birth date allows defining the date of birth within a range. In the profile field we can define the profile as equal to or different from. The function of the button on the right is determining the position of the field once we execute the query. Finally, when we have defined which fields we want to include in the query, we press the button Execute Query, and we'll see that the results are loaded in the right panel. We must highlight the Export List button situated in the Results tab, which, as its name suggests, allows exporting the query results in different types of formats: Excel, CSV, XML, PDF, text. These results can be exported to a file, which is recommended, or in a new tab.